all right? We're going to be moving the key to its keyhole. And to do that, we're going to be asking it to either slide it, spin it, or flip it. Those are the three we get to use to let us go ahead and move the key down to its keyhole. Okay, the keyhole's down here. Now, your focus is on the red dot and the blue dot. The picture of the key is extra. It's just a visual, all right? The picture of the key is extra, just a visual. Your goal is to move the blue dot to the red dot, okay? Blue dot to the red dot. Okay? All right, so we need to move the key, which is the blue dot, okay, to the hole, which is the red dot. Okay, and we're going to do that by this arrow says to slide it, this arrow says to spin it, and this arrow says to flip it. Okay, so we're going to try some things out. What do we want to do first? Do we want to slide it? Do we want to spin it? Or do we want to flip it? Okay, so we're going to slide it. Now, this opens up the ability to slide. Okay, this opens up the ability to slide. We are sliding that blue dot over to the red dot. So what kind of movement do we need to do? Do we need to subtract from our current X value or add to our current X value? Going left means subtract, yes. So how far? Because we're going from the blue dot over to the red dot, right? And that means I have to go left, and left means I'm subtracting. I'm going to the negative direction, okay? And I'm going to the negative direction, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Nice. So I'm gonna put -7, okay? Okay, now we have to figure out what we're doing to the Y. Is the Y going to be going positive direction or negative direction? You first have to click on that little symbol that showed move before it'll let you type. So if I backtrack to here, I have to click this first, then it should let me do the -7. Is it not letting you guys click and type? Okay, then Mercedes, for this piece of it, just watch. Okay, because this is just a tool for us to start visualizing. So it's okay if you just watch for the moment. We're not writing anything yet. All right, so we moved the X -6, right? Because we moved left. And for X's left is negative. Yes? So we need to move the Y as well. Okay, we need to move the Y as well. So is our Y moving positive or negative? From the blue to the red. Negative. So how much negative? So because remember, we took our blue dot and we moved it 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? Now we're here at this little corner of -3, and we have to go, we're saying to go down, right? Okay, down 6 is what some people are telling me. Yes, down 6. Okay, so do we think that's the only thing the key needs to do? No, we need to flip it. Okay, so we need to flip it. How do we need to flip it? Now, here's the deal. Every time we flip it, right? So let's do this first. Let's move it. Here. So I'm here now, right? We need to spin or we need to flip. We did our slide. Do we need to spin or flip? Spin. Okay, so we have to spin. Now, do we want to spin left or right? Left. So we have to tell it we're spinning left. And how much do we need to spin it? So when we do a spin, 90 degrees is just one tick. One tick, one tick, okay? So do we need to spin it how much to the left? Just one tick. So we want to go counterclockwise. That's what CCW stands for, counterclockwise 90, right? Let's do it. Yay, we got the door unlocked. We got it right. So let's go to our next puzzle. Okay. So right now we're just trying it out and feeling it out. We're going to be doing the challenges and writing them down on the cami in a minute. First, we have to play around with it. Okay, so blue dot to red dot. What do we need to do? Do we need to slide it? Do we need to spin it? Do we need to flip it? What do we want to do first? Okay, so someone says they want to move it to the right one place. Okay, anything else that we want to do? So we want to slide again. Okay, so the sequence you do it in doesn't matter. So do we want to try flipping first? Because we did slide first last time. Okay, so we need to flip it. Which way do we need to flip it? Left and right or up and down? Oh, left and right. So we need to flip it over the x=1 line, right? So we got to tell it which line we're flipping it over. There we go. We flipped it. Now what do we need to do to get the blue dot over to the red dot? Now what do we need to do to get the blue dot to the red dot? Okay, we need to slide it. How much do we need to slide it? So this is slide. Okay. First, we talk about left and right. Are we going left or are we going right? Right, which is positive. How much positive are we going? 1 to the right, okay? And then once we slide it 1 to the right, what do we need to do from there to get the blue dot on top of the red dot? Down by 4, okay? So we need to tell it down by 4, right? Check it. Did it again, okay? Go to our next puzzle. What do we need to do? Remember, it doesn't matter the sequence you do it. Okay, but the sequence does affect some things. Okay, the sequence does affect some things. The in-class activities are always your participation points, part of them, yeah, along with the dream box. So what do we need to do? What do we want to do first? Do we need to flip it? Do we need to flip it? Do we need to spin it? Do we want to slide it? What do we want to do first? To move the blue dot to the red dot. We want to spin it? Okay. Because remember, it doesn't matter what you choose first. It's just that'll impact what you choose next. Okay, so we want to spin it. Which way do we want to spin it? So it spins right or so it spins left? Okay, so Brian says, or Nadika says that we want to go one tick to the left. Okay, so we're picking left, one tick. Now, if I wanted to go 2, I would change this 90 to be 180, 3 ticks is 270, all the way around is 360. Okay, so let's spin it. Okay, it's now spun. What else do we need to do? Now we have to flip it. Okay, so we're going to pick flip. Are we flipping left and right or up and down? I have to flip to the right. Okay, so we want to flip it to the right. Over what line? Okay, so now here's the tricky part. When we do the flip, the line we flip it over is halfway. The line we flip it over is halfway. So we have to figure out what is halfway between the red and the blue dots for an X value. So if this X is at 4 and that X is at 3, how far is it all the way? How far is it all the way? 7. And if the line we have to flip it over is halfway, what are we going to put in here? What's halfway? Between, okay, so half of 7 is 3.5. Okay, that means if I subtract 3.5 from the 4, I will get the line I need to cross over. Or if I add 3.5 to the -3, I will get the line that they needs to flip over. It'll get me the same line. So if I add 3.5 to -3, what do I get? So if I have -3 plus 3.5, 3.5, what would we have? Or if I say 4 minus 3.5, what do we have? Either way, same thing. Okay, so I could either subtract 4.0 minus 3.5, or I can add negative 3.0 plus 3.5, the net result will be the same. It's whichever you like. What do we get? It doesn't matter which one you choose to do on the calculator. 0.5, thank you. Now, is that a positive 0.5 or a negative 0.5? Positive 0.5. So I'm going to say 0.5. Oh, it might not let me. It's not going to let us flip yet. Because look, it won't let me do a decimal point. It wants us to do whole jumps. So we have to do the slide first. So let's slide it. It wasn't negative 3. Because if I take negative 3 and I add 3.5, I get a decimal point, and it won't let me put the decimal point in. So we can't do the flip yet. We're going to have to save it. Okay, so we have to backtrack. Instead of doing the flip, I have to do the slide. So I need to slide the blue dot over to the red dot. So when I tried to do the flip, it didn't let me do the decimal. So I have to do the slide first, and then I'll do the flip. Okay, so we already decided that we're sliding 7 to the right because we talked about it to get the flip location, right? And what else do we need to do? 7 to the right, and because we always have a left and right and an up and down. Up, 5. Okay, let's do it. Okay. Now that we got them lined up, we can do our flip. Okay, we're going to flip it over what X value? What X value are we flipping it over? What X are we on? 4. Boom. Okay, so if you try something and it doesn't work, do one of the other motions. Okay, next puzzle. We need to move the blue dot to the red dot. What do we want to do first? Spin it? Okay, if we're going to spin it, what way are we going to spin it? We're going to spin it right, so it stands up like this. Is that what we want to do? Stand it up? Because we want to make it so that, oh, it's already standing up. We want to spin it so it turns on its side. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong dot. Yeah, okay. So we want to spin it so the key part goes to the right, goes backwards on the clock, right? Because our clock, when we do it, it would go like this. But we need to spin it backwards. So we are actually spinning to the left because this head of the key is going to go left. Think of the head of the key. Is the head of the key going to come right, or is the head of the key going to go left? So we want the head of the key to come this way, downward, or we want the key to come this way, downward, left. So look at the head of the key and see if we want to go left, or the head of the key if we want to go right. So if we pull the key down to the left, we pick the left arrow, okay? If we pull the key to the right, we pick the right arrow. Now, here's the thing. Could I pull the key to the right and still get where I want to be? Yes. But if I pull the key to the right, I need to tell it it's not going one tick, because one tick could just set it down like this. and we need the teeth of the key to be upward. So I need the key to go around 3 ticks. So here's the crazy thing with the circle. I can go 3 ticks right, and it's the same as going 1 tick left, and vice versa. So I wanted to show you this. See, look. Boom. All right. So if you get stuck, and let's take this back off and reset it. Say you went and did the rotate and you said 90, or you said 1 tick clockwise, and you did it, and you noticed it went the wrong way, just do a few more to get yourself all the way around to where you want, okay? But we will go noticing it was left first. We'll do it in 1 move instead of 3. But with the rotations, the nice thing about the circle is the fact that because it's a circle, you can always get yourself back to where you need to be. Just repeat the motion more than once. Okay, so our key looks like it's facing the correct way. Now we got to get the blue dot to the red dot. So what are we going to do? Slide or flip or what? Slide. Okay, so this is the slide button. Okay, so is the blue dot going left or right? Is the blue dot going left or right? To the left. And how much to the left? 3. So when we go do it, we're going to say -3 for my x, right? Okay. Then I have to decide, I'm now 1, 2, 3, I'm here. My blue dot's now here. What do I have to do from there? I have to go up. How much do I have to go up? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have to go up 5 on the positive. Nope, on the 5. Okay, let's check it. Boom, we opened our door. Okay. Okay, let's go to our next one. Oh no, I see a wall. I cannot flip over a wall or spin through a wall. So my first motion has to be get away from the wall. So it's going to be a slide. Okay, so I can't go ahead and spin yet. I can't go ahead and flip yet. I have to get away from the wall. Okay, so the blue dot is moving to the red dot. So what do I need to do for my blue dot? Left or right? Because I know I have to slide first to get away from the wall. Okay, and I have to slide 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to the right, just like Brian said. So I put a +7 here. Then I'm now floating up here. What do I need to do to get my blue dot to my red dot? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, down 5. -5. I'm now here, right? What do we need to do? We need to flip it. Okay. Which way are we flipping it? Left and right or top to bottom? Okay, top to bottom. So that's this one. When we flip top to bottom, we're looking at the Y value. We have to flip over. What is the value of Y at our dot right now? That's what we got to flip over. Okay, -1. See, if I take my dot over, it's -1. So that's what I have to flip over, the -1 line. So I think my visual spatials are having fun. Because I see some of you are getting it quick, so that means that you tend to probably be visual spatial learners. The numbering stuff is tricky, but this visual stuff, not a bad deal. Okay, what do I see? A wall. So I always have to do what first when I have a wall? I can't spin, I can't flip until I move away from the wall. So I have to move away from the wall. So I'm going to have to do a slide. I might have to do more than one slide because I can't slide through a wall either. And because they placed the wall right here, I might have to go up and over, okay? So I might have to do 2 slides before I can even do any spinning or flipping, okay? I should see on my Blocksy that everybody has this link open that was it was put into the activity. So everybody should be on this link. And I'm kind of seeing some people that don't have that open, and I'm kind of concerned about that. Okay, so we need to do more than one slide because we've got to go up and over because they put me below. The last one, they put me even with it so I could get around it in one move, but this one I can't. So I need to go up and over before I can do down, okay? So my first slide, I could choose to go down and come over. I could choose to go up and come over. What do we want to do? Okay, so if we're going to go up and over, tell me, what am I doing? Which direction is the X going? If I'm going up, I got to make sure I can clear this. So I can't just go to here because the teeth would hit. So I have to go up. How many spaces? Now, if you're choosing down, it's the same. Okay, we're choosing up too. Okay. I'm now sitting here, right, at up to. I need to go over. How many am I going over? Okay, going over 4. Okay, so let's do that. Let's see where that gets us. That gets us here. Okay. So did our motion go the way we expected it to do? No. So we need to fix how we wrote that. How much are we going up? How much are we going over? We always talk about over first. So how much over do we think we're going to go? What did we say? We always talk about over before we talk about up. Okay, so, but we just did over 2 and up 4. And it landed us here, and that's not where we wanted to be. So you just want to go over 2 up 3? Okay, let's try it. Over 2, up 3. That gets us there. Is that what we want to be there? No. So what do we want to do? That's what's nice about this, is we get to play around with it. And if we make a mistake, we can back up. Easy, right? So what do we want to do? Where do we want to be? Okay, so we could try down, sure. How much down do we want to try? Remember, we got to get past the wall and we can't go through the wall. Okay, we want to go down 5 or up 5. Now remember, we always talk about left and right first, because left and right motion happens first. So we're saying down 5, that's fine. But what left and right motion do we want to take? Everyone should have clicked the link in the assignment to be at this activity we're at. Okay, we want to go 2. Okay. So 2 to the right, down 5. Let's see what that gets us. Oh, we said up 5. I made a mistake. I apologize. That was me. I want to back up to this. I didn't say down 5. I said up 5. Try again. There. That's what we wanted. 2 to the right, down 5. Now what? We have to slide again, right? Or we could flip, or we could spin, because now we're away enough from the wall that we could do those things. So what do we want to do? Slide again, spin, or flip? Okay. Spin. Okay. So do we want the head of the key to spin right, or do we want the head of the key to spin left? Sorry. We want the head of the key to spin to the left because we want it to come downward, right? All right, so spinning left. Do I only need to go 1 tick left and then I'm okay? Okay, so 1 tick left. All right, what do we want to do now? Flip it, slide it, or spin it? Is the key facing the right direction and everything now? Yeah, so we want to slide. Okay, the blue dot to the red dot. So how much left and right, that goes first. Slide it. How much, and positive or negative? Okay, so we're saying 1, 2, 3 to the right. Okay. Now we talk about up and down. Are we going up or are we going down, and how many? Remember, down would be negative, up would be positive. Up 2, so positive 2. Let's see. Oh, yay. Okay. Here we go. Oh, look, another one of these with the wall. Now, remember, we cannot flip, we cannot slide, we cannot spin. It's not necessarily that going up or down would be more difficult. It's just, think about on the last one, our red dot was below us, so it makes more sense to slide down to it, okay? If the dot's above us, then it makes more sense to slide up to it. Do we see what I mean? Okay, so we have to get ourselves away from the wall. Okay, we got to get ourselves away from the wall. We can't slide through the wall. We can't spin the wall. We can't flip over the wall. It's a wall. Okay. So what do we need to do to move our blue dot to our red dot? First, we have to get away from the wall. So we have to slide, right? Okay. Are we sliding our blue dot left and right, or up and down. Remember, the right and left goes first. Can I go ahead and say that I want to slide all the way to here? Can I slide all the way to here? No, because the wall's in the way. So at most, we can only slide one spot, right? Because then we hit the wall. So at most, we can only go one in the positive direction. And then we want to get to the red dot, right? So what do I need to do? If I've gone one this way and I want to get myself up over here, we need to slide up. How many? If I go 1, 2 up, it's going to be here. 3, 4, it's going to be here. If I stop here, will that give my key enough room to flip or spin? No. Because my key is 1, 2, 3 tall, right? So I have to make sure I clear this wall by 3. So I have to go above the wall by 3 spaces so I can flip it and spin it. So how much would get me to the top of the wall? Let's look. 1, 2, 3, 4 gets me to the top of the wall, right? Or just above the top of the wall. But my key is 3 big, so I need to go 3 extra. So I need to go 7. That way, my key is completely above. And all we have to do is click it with 2 fingers, and now you can pull it down so you can see it. So use 2 fingers to slide your graph. We now can see it, and it's now definitely above the wall. Let's see, could we have just gone with 4? Let's see. We said 1 to the right, up 4. What would that do? Oh, that would be good enough. Okay. So let's stick with that one. What do we do now? I got to get the red dot over to the blue dot, and I have to make sure the key is facing the right direction. So what needs to happen? Okay, so we want to move over here. So how much are we moving it? We're going to slide it again. Okay. We're going to slide it again. Tell me what the slide would be. How much to the, because we said we're going this way, how much to the right would it be going? Positive. 4. And then we want it to go up 1. Right? There we go. Okay, now we got to think what we need to do. What needs to happen so our key fits? We need to flip it. Okay, so how do we want to flip it? We could flip it or we could spin it. The result is the same. Okay, so do we want to flip or do we want to spin? The results will get you the same. Spin. We want to spin which direction? So the top of the key goes right, clockwise, or left, counterclockwise. So you want to spin it so it goes right. How many ticks does it need to go right? 1 tick would put it on its side. Is that what we want? Oh, 2 ticks. So if 1 tick is 90, then we need to go another tick, 180. Meow. Now I want to backtrack this a second. Return to this puzzle. So remember our key was, let's go say yes to this one and say yes to this one. We were sitting here. We could have flipped it as well. The first flip could have been left and right over the positive 3 of x. Okay. And then the second flip could have been top to bottom over the y of 4. So you can, if you don't see spins, it's okay. You can use flips to help you. I know it would have been more work, but not everybody can visualize the spins. So I wanted to give them some options that are just as valid. Okay. All right. All right. Let's go to our next puzzle. Uh-oh, we got a wall. What do we have to do first? Can I slide my key the way it is straight across? No, because the bottom of the key would hit the wall, right? So we've got to get the bottom of the key above the wall. How much does it need to go? So it gets it above the wall. So we have to slide it first. How much do we need to go with that keyhole part? The handle has to come above the wall. So you want to go left, but that's still not going to change the fact that we can't go sideways, which is the first move with this keyhole here. So we have to move that so it's above. Yeah, we can't slide to the right. So what do we need to do first? So we get the keyhole above the wall. Because we need the key handle. Oh, we need to move up. So are we going to change our X direction? No, we just need to change our Y. How much up does the keyhole need to go to get over the wall? 2 times? Okay. Okay, so now we have the keyhole above the wall and we can do our right and left motions. Okay, so, or we can do our spins or we can do our flips. Does it matter which one we do? No. We want to do a spin. We want to do a flip. What do we want to do? Remember, they're equivalent. We can use them interchangeably. So we want to do a spin. Okay. Are we spinning our handle to the left? Are we spinning our handle to the right? Which way is this handle going to go? Left? No, that's right or left. We want to go left with it. Okay. We want to go left. How many clicks do we want it to go left? Want it to go left? Is that good enough? Just 1 tick good enough? Let's see. That seems okay to me. Now what are we going to do? So we could slide, we could flip, we could spin. We want to move to the right. Okay, we want to do slide. Here's slide. Okay. Which direction is the X going? How many? Positive or negative? Because we need the blue dot, focus on the dot, not the key, the blue dot over to the red dot. So how far do we need to go to get that blue dot over to the red dot? 9, okay. But let's look at, Nadika had a thought. Let's see. Let's do this thought of 3 to the right and down the 3 that Brian says, right? Oh, what happened? If we had done the 3 to the right, down 3, what happened? Again. it hit the wall, right? So that's when we're going to go with Brian's thought, okay, that we're going to go right 9, because I'm going to take it all the way above the red dot. Yeah, because the teeth hit the wall. It wouldn't let you do it. So we're going to go all the way to the right, not just part way, and try and flip it. I think that Nidika was thinking that she could get it to here and flip it over, but let's get it over and then flip it, okay? So 9 and then -3. Oops, -3. That put us there. Now what do we want to do? So when you do your slides, slide so the blue dot gets all the way to the red dot, okay? Not part way, and then do a flip. Okay, flip, left and right or up and down? Is this key gonna flip left and right or up and down? Left and right, so we pick the left and right. Now, what X line is there? What X line are they flipping over? Yes. So when you flip left and right, you look what X line. When you flip top to bottom, you look at what Y line. And if you look, it says X equals. Boom. Yay. Okay. Next puzzle. What do we, oh no. They gave us a double challenge. Between two walls. So what do I need to do first? Am I going to be able to slide the blue dot all the way to the red dot as is? Am I going to be able to slide it all the way as is? Because will my blue dot key fit through the two walls as is? No. So what do you think we might want to do first? Okay, so think on it. And remember, if we do something and we try it and it doesn't work, it's not tragic. We just try again. So we're trying to figure out how to get the key with the blue dot so it can fit between the two balls. We could spin, yeah. So do we want to, Brian says spin, Charlie says slide. Okay, let's look what Charlie's does. If we slide it, we're trying to slide first. He said to just make the X go 7, but keep the Y what it is, okay? That would put our dot here. Does that work? Is that could we do it that way? Is that helpful? Okay, and then he said spin. So remember, for some of them, it doesn't matter. Brian said spin. He was planning to spin and then slide. Charlie's doing slide, then spin. They'll get us to the same place, okay? So don't stress. Now, which way do we want the top of the key going? Left or right? Because right would bring us down here, left. Okay, left, 1 tick or 2? Left 1 tick? Okay, let's try it. Is that going to get us through the walls yet? What do we still need to do? Now flip. Okay, are we flipping left and right or top to bottom? Okay, left to right. Over what line? X equals 2. Okay. Now what do we have to do? I don't know why you're on Challenger 1 when we are not. It makes no sense to not be where we are since this is a class participation activity. Okay, now we need to slide it. How do we need to slide it? What needs to happen to slide this? Only down, so the x stays 0. Down by how much? Negative what? 5 spaces? Okay, let's try. Yay! Okay. Ooh, what now? Let me move it. So, there we go. All right. So we got to get the blue dot over the red dot. It's okay. Not even. Let's try this one. Now let's think. Is the key with the blue dot able to slide past the wall like it is? Will the teeth make it past the wall? Will the teeth make it past the wall? What do we think? If we slid the blue dot, do you think the teeth are going to make it past the wall? No. So if the teeth don't make it past the wall, what do we need to do first? Slide it or flip it or what? Or spin it. Okay. But so which way are we going to slide it? Tell me a slide. Left, how many? -6. Are we going to slide it up at all? Or down or what? Are we going to be sliding it up? How many? 6? Okay. That worked because the wall only went to 2.5, not 3. And the teeth made it past. So now what do we need to do? Now what do we need to do? Because the key's not facing the right way. The dots match, but the key doesn't. So what do we need to do? Okay, we need to spin it. Which way? Do we need the head to go left or do we need the head to go right? Do we need the head to go left or do we need the head to go right? Left, right. What do we think? So if we go left, okay, we'll go left. Now what? Could we have gone right? Yeah, we could have gone right and flipped or left and flipped. So if we're going left and flipping, are we flipping up and down or left and right? Up and down. So when we flip up and down, we got to look at what's the y value. See, it says y equals. What is the y equal on the flip? Y equals 2. See, I see right here, the y of 2. Yay. Star 3. Okay. Ooh. What do we need to do? Don't put it in the chat yet. Give people a couple moments to think about it. Keep in mind how close we are to the wall and what we might want to be doing first or second so we can fit between the walls. Give them a minute. You could try it out on yours if you want, but don't say what it is yet. So, based on the direction that the key is going when it's done, what would be a good first move? Based on the direction the key needs to be when it's done, what would be a good first move? A slide, a spin, or a flip? A spin. Okay. So if we spin, do we want the headpiece to go left or do we want the headpiece to go right? Left. Okay. Our key is now here. That makes us happy, right? Because at least it's skinny, like the key in the picture. What else do we need to do so the key is facing the right way? Are we ready to slide? So if we went right, okay, let's back up to here. If we went right with it, it would be like this. Okay. So are either one a problem? No. So we could flip it. Are we going left and right? So we look at the X, or are we going up and down? So we look at the right, left and right. So what X are we flipping it over? -5. Go. All right. Are we okay with that? Now what would we do to get the blue dot on top of the red dot? We have to slide it now. Left and right comes first though. Left and right comes first though. So do we want to only move up 6 and then move right so we make it 2 separate slides? So how much to the right can I move if the right and left comes first? Or do we need to do 2 separate slides? Okay. So could I slide it? Remember, left and right comes first. So if I go right 7, up 6, problem. So we have to make it into 2 separate slides that we slide up first and then we slide over because it always will be when you tell it the X and the Y, the X comes first and we hit the wall. Okay, so sometimes we have to do extra motions that we don't think we have to do. Okay. All right. What now? What do we have to do first? What should we do first? Think about it for a second before we get moving. Okay, so what do we want to do first? Someone tell me. We want to spin it. Okay. Do you want to spin it left or right? Right. How many spins do we want to go right? Just one. Okay. Now what do we want to do? Remember, whenever we're doing our motions, the left and right will come first, and then the up and down comes second. We got to keep in mind that we have to make sure the key gets past the wall, not just the dot, the whole key. So what do we want to do? We want to go up by 10. So we want to move this key way up here. Or do we want to slide this key over and up? It's up to you. Or do we want to slide the key over and up? Okay, so I only had one person respond, so we want to go up 10. Okay, that's the Y. Then what? Then what? Left 5, anything else? Just left 5? Oh, left 5 down 3. So -5, -3, because left is negative, down is negative. We got it. Now, let's back up a second for this, right? We could have also slid. We want to turn the key, right? We could have also gone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That doesn't get the key past 9, 10 to the left. And then we could have come up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That would have placed us here. And then we could have gone the 5 back. Okay, we still have to go ahead and do 2 slides. One of them not changing the left and one of them only doing a left, right, or up, down. Okay, so don't freak out. Okay, so you are now on challenge 1. And we are working on both the key lock and the Kami worksheet is now open, both of them. So let me do this. I'm going to reshare. Give me a second. I'm figuring out the way to reshare what I want. Okay, let me do this. So split your screen. Okay. Do you see my split screen? I'm checking if the share state did correct. Do you see my split screen? Okay. So I am going to take this Cami and I'm going to slide it all the way to the right. And then I'm going to pick my key lock. It's on the left. Okay. Now, instead of having a key, you have a triangle. Okay. Now, instead of having a key, you have a triangle. And I got to make this smaller so it will fit. So instead of a key shape, it's a triangle. All right. I know it's tiny, but I want to be able to have both on the screen. I need to move the blue triangle to the red triangle. It's the same process. So what should we do first? What kind of move should we do first? A slide, a turn, a spin, or a flip? A slide, a turn, or a flip? Okay, we're going to do a slide. Where are we going to slide? How are we going to slide? How are we going to slide? Okay. I want to pick bigger writing though. Okay, so we're going to slide down 6. Okay, so what word stands for down? Horizontal or vertical? So think of it. If I'm going down 6, am I changing the X or am I changing the Y? I'm changing the Y, so that's horizontal. Horizontal means change sideways, left and right. Vertical means change up and down. So if I'm going down by 6, am I using horizontal or am I using vertical? If I'm going down, that's vertical. If I'm going sideways, that's horizontal. Okay. So we have to decide. Whenever we talk about moving the blue guy over to the red guy, we have to talk about our left and rights as well as our up and downs. Do we want it going left and right? So there will always be a horizontal. What do we want to have happen? Do we want it to stay 0? Do we want it to go +1, -1? What? Okay. We have said we want it to slide. Do we want it to slide down? Do we want it to slide up? Do we want it to slide left? Do we want it to slide right? With the horizontal, that's the left and right. Do we want it sliding sideways? Or do we want to only make it slide up and down? Only up and down. So is our sideways changing? If we only want to go up and down, are we going to be changing our left and right? No, so 0. And then we have to talk about our vertical, which is our up and down. We want to go down 6. So that's subtract 6, right? So let's go put that in. Subtract 6. Let's do it. We are here now. What do we need to do to get the blue dot on the red dot and the triangles going the same direction? Are we going to flip? Are we going to slide? Are we going to turn? We have another move we got to make. Are we going to flip? Are we going to slide? Are we going to turn? Come on, guys. Are we going to flip? Are we going to slide? Are we going to turn? All of them are valid. It doesn't matter which one we do first. It just will affect from blue to red. Yes, just like we've been doing, blue dot to red dot the whole time. Okay, so we want to flip it. How do we want to flip it? Top to bottom or left to right? Left to right. So we're going to say flip on our worksheet. Now we got to talk about flipping how. So we want to go left to right. So we got to talk about the X over X equals what? What are we going to flip it over? Halfway between if we're flipping it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What line would be halfway between there? What line would be halfway between? 5 spaces away from where they are. So what line is 5 spaces away? X equals what? One, 2, 3, 4, 5. X equals what? X equals what? Look where I am pointing. X equals 0 line, okay? So when you're looking at flipping sideways, you count, you divide by 2, and then you can either subtract from the blue or add to the red. It'll get you to the same place. Are we done? Not 0, 5. X equals 0. Are we done? No. So what do we need to do? What do we still need to do? We need to flip from top to bottom. Okay. When we flip from top to bottom, we're looking at the Y. So we're doing a flip. Over Y equals what value? Y equals what value? That's Y equals positive 2? No, Y equals negative 2. Exactly. So we have to flip over Y equals negative 2. Yay! So you are responsible to finish the other challenge problems. Okay, when you click next problem, there'll be another challenge problem for you to do. Okay, so I am allowing until the end of lunch, which is the start of third period for me. So you will have until 12:46 to finish the last of the challenge ones and write them up on the worksheet. Okay. Remember, you had to open in Canny to write on it. Okay, so you have until what time? What time? What time? 12:46 to finish the worksheet by using the tool. All right. Any questions about that? Okay, so you can work on it right now, but class is almost over. Okay. So have a good day. I have updated the time to be 12:46.